Welcome back. This is Goku-san DBZ, and welcome back for part one of a new four-part special. This is going to be a list. Of course, I recently did top 50 favorite Disney films of all time. This is going to be top 100 films of all time. Now, these are, of course, my top 10 personal favorite movies of all time, including all genres and everything is into account. So, animated, live action, CG, anime, doesn't matter. All qualify. No honorable mentions. In part one, we will be 100 to 76. This also includes, by the way, TV channel original movies as well qualify. So, with that said, first up, coming in at number 100 is, of course, a Miyazaki film from Studio Ghibli. Someone I feel maybe underrated. I actually really like it. I like the English dub. Voice acting, especially since they got to do one of the characters, Liam freaking Neeson, or just Liam Neeson, which is awesome. One of my all-time favorite actors. Coming in at number 100 is Ponyo, which is a great film, and I highly recommend it. If you've never seen Ponyo, do yourself a favor and check it out. Coming in at number 99 is kind of a guilty pleasure film. I'll be honest, it's not a great film, but for some reason I really enjoy it. I can't explain why, but I do. Coming in at 99 is the 2010 remake, of course, of Clash of the Titans. Yes, I'm one of those people that actually enjoyed the 2010 Clash of the Titans film more than the 80s film. The CG, at least, was actually really good in the 2010. Maybe it's not aged the best, but it certainly aged way better than the 80s. Bad clay animated film. I love stop motion, but stop motion in that film was just bad. At least this film actually had a budget. Plus, I didn't try watching the badly converted 3D that was a big trend in the early 2010s. But I enjoyed it, and I even enjoyed the Lord Voldemort take of Hades. As I said, guilty pleasure. And Liam Neeson also is Zeus. So that's always a thumbs up. Next, coming in at 98 is a classic which had the involvement of my all-time favorite director, Spielberg. It was a horror comedy that took place during the holidays, during Christmas. So I think it's a win-win. It's one of my all-time favorite horror comedy films. Coming in at 98 is Gremlins, the first one. Next, coming in at 97 is a film that I loved, I'll be honest, and I still love to this day. It was big in the late 90s, early 2000s, the whole trend with glasses, black trench coats, with new metal or goth rock and stuff in that time period. That's something I was really into. And this was a big part in it. And that being at number 97, the original Underworld film, which of course had the battle between the vampire and the Lycan, or werewolf. The Lycan is the actual correct term used in most mythology of werewolves, and I just like the name better, Lycan. But it's a cool film. I really enjoy the soundtrack. I feel, of course, it is a very enjoyable film. I have many guilty pleasure films and stuff I really enjoyed by New Line Cinema, and this was done by New Line Cinema, which is probably why I really enjoyed the music. Coming in at number 96, we go back to another Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film. A very criminally underrated film, in my opinion, and I love the film because at the end of the movie, I get to hear Basically the song that is beloved in my state, though it's actually not about my state of West Virginia, of course, that being Country Road. It's actually about western part of the state of Virginia, not West Virginia. People tend to get that mixed up, but still, nevertheless, I love Country Road. And it's cool at the end of the film because you get to hear Country Road in Japanese. And that's really cool and unique and different. And it's cool that the song Country Road has a heavy influence in this anime film. That being the film Whisper of the Heart, which is a great coming of age story. I think it's really good. And it's easily the most more normal Miyazaki film that's not super out there or anything. There's no real supernatural. Actually, in the film, it takes place very much so in actual reality. If reality was an anime, but whatever. Coming at number 95 is one of the biggest guilty pleasures of all time for me for all the great one-liners. At 95 is Street Fighter the movie. And of course, that is with Raul Julia as M. Bison. And I will never forget some of the greatest one-liners of all time, like, "Of course!" Or how about, "Game over!" Or how about, of course, Zangief said, "Change the channel." Or how about, "For me, it was Tuesday." Maybe one of the greatest memes of all time. Thank you, Raul Julia. He truly made the film very enjoyable. You could tell he was really enjoying cheesing it up as in Bison. A great film for me personally. I think many people who enjoy fighting games in early 90s and stuff and really appreciate good cheesiness of the 90s really enjoys the film. And that's just my opinion. I really love the film, as bad as it is. Next, coming in at 94 is a great, more modern, well, somewhat modern 90s. In my opinion, one of the best animated films of the Disney Renaissance. At number 94, released in 1998, is Disney's Mulan. Next, coming at 93, is the first of a couple of Harry Potter movies on my top 100 list. 93 is the first film that really started taking a much darker turn in the Harry Potter series. At 93 is Harry Potter and the Gauntlet of Fire, which has a great, epicness, like seeing the return at the end of the film of Lord Voldemort. Or, of course, again, to see David Tennant as, of course, the character, I forget the character's name now, dang it. Barty Crouch Jr. Also, at 92, another film which is somewhat connected, actually, to Whisper of the Heart, another Miyazaki film. At 92 is The Cat Returns, which is a great film, and the main sort of villain is voiced by one of the greatest voice actors and actors in general of all time, Tim Curry, which automatically gets 2 thumbs up from me, because I love Tim Curry. Coming in at 91 is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I surely like the film. It's easily the best of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, though that's not saying too much, and it was a rehash of A New Hope. I still enjoyed it for what it was. It was certainly way more enjoyable than the Rian Johnson film, which I'm not going to speak of, because it's certainly not on this list. Next, coming in at number 90 is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Next, coming at 89 is a film I feel that deserves more praise than it gets. It was easily one of my top 3 films the year it came out. I really enjoyed it, and it is kind of interesting. I also kind of used the song Country Road, strangely enough. That being the most recent film, of course, from Ridley Scott in the Alien series, of course. Alien Covenant comes in '89. I really love Alien Covenant. Of the actual Alien name films, it's my second favorite Alien film. But it's my third favorite Ridley Scott Alien Universe film overall. Coming at number 88 is another guilty pleasure movie of mine. At 88 is, of course, a big, cheesy, dumb bunch of fun, but I gotta love it. At 88 is Batman Forever, with, of course, the over the top Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Next, at 87, is a film that holds a special place, is one of my all-time favorite video game movie adaptations. And it took a very much more creepy and very much a more loyal tone to the actual source material. At 87 is Silent Hill, the movie. Next, at 86, another good creepy film, my second favorite in the series. At number 86 is Insidious Chapter 3. Next, we go once again back to Japan, back to, of course, the mind of Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. Coming in number 85 is Castle in the Sky, which the main villain of the film is voiced by the man himself, Mark Hamill. Coming in at 84 is a great film, also from the era of glasses and black trench coats. We have the original at 84, The Matrix. Next, we have at 83, a somewhat sometimes I feel overlooked great film from the 2000s, great action, and a very enjoyable performance from Heath Ledger, as well as Mel Gibson. Coming in at 83 is the film that takes place during the time period, and by the way, more or less one of the main villains of the film is played by the same actor who does, in the future, Lucius Malfoy. Except with black hair instead of blonde hair. The film is The Patriot. Great film. Highly recommend it if you've never seen The Patriot. One of the best Mel Gibson movies of all time, in my opinion. Coming in at 82 is from the world and mind of James Wan, The Conjuring 2. Next, coming in at 81, another great cheese fest film from the 90s with the over-the-top greatness of Jim Carrey. Coming in at 81 is The Mask. Coming in at 80, we go once again to Studio Ghibli, but we go to their earliest work. A film that will get you in tears. It will really hit you emotionally. It's a film that takes place in Japan during the time period of World War II, and it shows things from the perspective of Japanese citizens and what they went through in World War II. It is a film that will hit you in the emotional area. It's a rough film to watch. Speaking as someone who has watched the film several times, it's definitely sometimes hard to watch. It's very much like Schindler's List. It will really hit you in the emotions. At number 80 is Grave of the Fireflies. Coming at number 79 is another film from the 90s, but it was a film to show that you could take comic book movies and make them more serious and mature. And in my opinion, is the greatest comic book movie of all time, as the main protagonist being an awesome, kick-ass African American key figure. That being I think it was 1998 film by New Line Cinema, Blade. Because Wesley Snipes owned the role of Blade, hands down. Coming in at 78, we go to the world and the mind of Akira Toriyama. Coming at 78 is Dragon Ball Super Broly. Next, we have, once again, we go to the world of Miyazaki. Coming in 77 is Tales from Earthsea. And if you've never seen that Studio Ghibli film, Tales from Earthsea, recommend. At 76, at the top for part 1 of this list, is a TV channel original movie from back when Sci-Fi Channel actually made good channel original movies in the early 2000s. A great film about the about the origins of course, the mysterious figure of the wizard Merlin, as well as Arthur. And that is the Sci-Fi Channel original film Merlin. And if you've never seen it, check it out. You can actually find it here on YouTube. Do yourself a favor. It's about 2.5 hours. It's long, but it's really good and enjoyable. Personally, I've always loved Merlin. I've seen the film probably 15, 16 times. Easily my favorite TV channel original movie of all time, or top 2 or 3. But that is it. That is 100 to 76 of my top 100 favorite films of all time. So with that said, leave a comment, tell me some of your favorite films, and stay tuned next week for part 2, which will be 75 to 51. And I will say, expect more comic book films to be on the list. But with that said, I'll see everyone next time. Stay safe out there, everyone. And I have some new arcade playthroughs coming soon for some interesting fine games, so stay tuned for that as well. I'll see y'all next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoyed the music in the background from Fable.